Hey there, beautiful ladies. Happy Wednesday. I hope this finds everyone doing amazing. Let me adjust my camera really fast. I usually have this done before I sign in, but I forgot today. Say hello if you are watching live. Once I see this pop up, I want to make sure that I can hear it on Facebook, just so I know you guys can hear me and I'm not just looking like I'm talking away, but not actually talking to you. Awesome. We are live. The sound is working. And now I'm pushing all the wrong buttons. There we go. All right. Say hello as you come in. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys didn't blow away yesterday. It was crazy here for those that aren't from my community. I know there's several inside of here that are, but it was crazy. The winds were absolutely terrible. I know we had a gas pump that blew over. We've had several downed trees. So I hope you guys are okay. I hope all of your stuff is okay. And I hope you're surviving. Well, welcome in. It is Wednesday night, which means it's time for my live, time for me to pour into you. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the week, is just getting to pour love into you, beautiful women. If you're new to my community, welcome in. I am excited that you are joining us. Let's get started. I feel like I've been running around like a crazy person. I couldn't find my water. I set it somewhere. I still don't know where I set it. And I have to have my water before I start talking. So I just had to make do with my coffee cup filled with water. But welcome in. I'm excited you're with me today. Ladies, I do not take it lightly that you decide to join me and to spend your time with me, even if you're catching this on the replay. I appreciate that so much. And I hope that I can really pour into you. I can add value to your day, into your life. And I really hope today's conversation feels like a deep breath or a deep breath that you've been needing. All right. So before we dive in, and I feel like I need this more than anyone, so I'm just going to pause for a second. I encourage you ladies, even on the replay, take a deep breath with me. I want you to just inhale and exhale and just check in with yourself for a moment. And again, like I said, I needed this just as much, just to be present in this moment. I feel like I've been running like crazy for the last couple minutes. So how are you really feeling though? How are you feeling right now in this moment? And if you're anything like the women that I work with, and if I'm honest, the woman that I was not long ago, you might be carrying a lot right now. Maybe you are holding down the household, holding together the household. Maybe you are keeping up appearances at work. Maybe you are showing up for everyone else, but silently wondering who is showing up for me. And I want you to know that this is a space where you don't have to pretend to have it all figured out. All right. Where you can just be you, where you don't have to smile through the exhaustion and say, I'm fine, when you're really anything but. This space is for you. This space is a safe space, and it's a space for you to just be in the moment, be present. I'm here for you. All right. If we haven't met yet, I'm Alexandria. I am here to help women who feel stuck in self-doubt, who struggle with self-worth, and those that just really want to step in alignment with their dreams and their desires, but don't know where to start. I'm here to help you with that. Even when life gets messy, even when it feels like it's too much. All right, and today we're going to be honest about something that I know so many of us have felt, but really don't talk about that much. Okay, it's that exhaustion of being the strong one, the one who holds it all together, the one who never lets the ball drop. So I guess I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit more. And the one who says fine, even when you are anything but fine. Okay, if that's you, I'm talking to you today. So come in, be vulnerable, be real, be honest with yourself. Again, this is your space. Okay? So let me ask you something. When did we start believing that being strong meant never struggling? Let me know your thoughts. And again, if you're catching this on the replay, drop it in the replay for me. Drop hashtag replay and then drop your thoughts. Let me know. But when did we start thinking that being strong meant never struggling? Like, who taught us that asking for help is weak? Or that if we're not juggling it all perfectly, that we are somehow failing? Does that sound like you? Does any of that relate? Ladies, I have lived in that mindset for years, wearing this, I've got this, like armor, like it was a badge. Showing up for everyone, managing the house, managing the work, the endless to-do list, right? And it's never ending. Trying to keep everyone else happy, but slowly losing myself along the way. And again, let me know if this resonates with you. But here's the thing, from the outside, I looked like I was doing it all. Inside, I was falling apart. I was crumbling. I was struggling to keep it together. There'd be nights that I would lay down and just run through the worst case scenario. What if I dropped the ball? What if I let someone down? What if I'm just not enough? And those are some heavy, heavy feelings and some heavy thoughts to have. And so if you've been there, I understand, or I know the place that you're in. I'm not going to say I understand, because each of our feelings are our own, right? And how I handle it and how you handle it are going to be two different things. But I know where you're coming from. All right, I feel you because I've felt that. I convinced myself that being strong meant just pushing through anyways. I thought if I worked harder, if I did more, if I kept holding it all up, eventually I'd feel better. But we all know how that turns out, right? It doesn't work that way. All I was doing to myself was making myself more exhausted. And here's the thing, nobody gets an award for being burnt out. We don't get a gold star for it. We don't get a gold star for carrying the weight of the world. We don't get a gold star for having this never-ending list and thinking that we have to keep it all together. We are not getting extra credit for being the most burnt out woman in the room. And yet, we almost try to wear it like a badge of honor. So at some point, we have to decide, am I living to keep up appearances? Or am I actually going to feel good and be present in my own life? I don't know about you, but the second one sounds better to me. Showing up and being present. Because that's where the real shift is going to begin. When you're more present with yourself, when you're more present with your spouse, when you're more present with your kids, and not worried about the next thing on your to-do list, that's when you're going to see that shift. That's when things start to happen for you. That's when you start feeling better, more confident, more at ease, more in flow, more in alignment with who you want to be. So here's what I had to learn the hard way. All right, we are allowed to lay it down. We don't have to carry it all. We're allowed to release the pressure. And all I can see now is like a pressure cooker, right? Letting off all this steam. We're allowed to release it all. And we are absolutely allowed to rebuild ourselves in a way that supports the life that we want. All right. One thing that I am discovering And it's something, ladies, that I consistently have to work on. And that's something, I'll be honest with you, in these lives, it's something that I still have to show up daily and work on. All right. But one thing that centers me in these moments is knowing and the reminder that rest is productive. And that took a lot to wrap my brain around. And even saying it out loud takes a lot for me to wrap my brain around. Rest is productive. Going, feeling like you have to tackle the next thing on your list, feeling like you can't sit down and breathe, that's not productive. And again, it's taken a lot for me to wrap my mind around that, because that is the complete opposite of my personality type. That is the complete opposite of what my inner critic tells me. And you've heard me talk about her before. She's constantly in my head, constantly nagging at me that I've got to do more, that I've got to be more, that I can't sit and rest because there's more to do. But rest is productive. Ladies, slowing down is not weakness. It is wisdom. Let me know if this is resonating with you. Drop it in the comments for me. Again, even on the replay, let me know. But when we're constantly running on empty, there's no room for peace. And there's definitely no space for growth, because inside you just have turmoil, right? That constant turning of your mind of the next thing that has to be done, the next thing you need to do, the next thing on your to-do list. But when you clear that space and give yourself permission to rest and give yourself permission to be present and to just be, do just like we did at the beginning and take a breath, that's when you're going to see that growth. Because your confidence is not going to come from overachieving. It's not going to come from overworking. And it definitely doesn't come from juggling all those things perfectly. That confidence is going to come from the inside out. That confidence that you want to last is going to come from the inside out. But you got to give it space to grow. You've got to give it space to breathe. Because it's built when you know who you are, what you value, what you deserve, what you want. And then you stop apologizing for living in alignment with that, right? Stop apologizing for not having a clean, spotless house. Stop apologizing for maybe having to say no to some commitment. Ladies, I remember the first time I did that, and it wasn't long ago. Because like I said, I've been working on myself too. Like, it's a work in progress. It always will be. But the first time that I said no to something that I normally would have felt like I had to say yes to, first, the guilt almost ate me up. Like, it was hard. I was in my brain for the next couple of days being eaten up by, well, you just let everybody down by saying no to that. But then when I gave that its space and wrapped my mind around what I had just done for myself and the time that that gave back to me to be in the moment with what I needed to be in the moment with at that time, that was so rewarding and so freeing. And now I know that because I've done it, it's just going to get easier and easier to set those boundaries and to say no. And I don't have to apologize for it. It's okay to have those boundaries in place. When you stop hustling for validation, and when you start trusting that you are enough as you are, again, that's when those big shifts and those big changes are going to happen. But when your confidence is built on chasing perfection, one rejection, one no, one setback, one bad day, ladies, it's going to tear it all down. But when it's built on truth instead, all right, who you are, what matters to you, who you're capable or what you're capable of, those setbacks aren't going to derail you. They're not going to throw you off track. You're going to be more resilient through it. They refine you, they build you. They turn you into this confident, resilient woman that you're meant to be. And that is what's going to make you unshakable. And that's what I want for each and every one of you that's inside my community. And so inside my Fearless and Worthy Woman Mastermind, we really dig into tools that help you with that kind of transformation and what makes it sustainable. But right now, for tonight, on this Wednesday evening, I want to share 3 simple mindset shifts. All right, 3 shifts that I want you to start using today. Start putting it into practice. All right, giving out free information from my mastermind. The first one is I want you to release that pressure of feeling like you have to have it all figured out. It's okay to not know the next 5 steps. It's okay to pause and ask, what is my next best move? Too often we feel like we need the full plan to start, right? And I know even with this coaching space that I'm in, it's so easy to get caught up in that kind of thinking that I have to have it all figured out before I can start coaching. But the beautiful thing about it is, ladies, when you put yourself out there and you're willing to just go out there and start making moves, beautiful things happen, right? You are going to make mistakes. That's going to happen, but you're going to learn from those mistakes. And you're pushing outside of your comfort zone, which means that you're gaining confidence, you're growing. If you're staying stuck in your comfort zone, you're not growing. But when you're pushing outside of it, you're growing and you're learning and you are getting more in alignment and more in tune with who it is that you're meant to be. So you don't have to have the full plan to start. You just have to start. The next small step is always going to be enough. And that's why, like, I encourage you, know what your why is, know what your vision is, know what it is that you want to do. Have a why. But don't go 100 miles per hour at that big why, all right? Break it into smaller chunks. Make it bite-sized pieces so it's manageable. And then start taking that next small step. Because your confidence is going to build through that movement. It's not going to build through perfection. Progress over perfection every single time. And again, that's where your confidence is going to build. So again, number 1, release the pressure to have it all figured out. You do not need to have it all figured out. You just need to get started. What's that one small step that you can take? And I would love for you to drop it in the comments for me. Drop it in the comments so we can hold you accountable. All right. And that's with love. But what's that one small step after today that you're going to take? Because I want you to take action, ladies. I don't want you to just watch these and move on. I want you to take action from them. Start putting things in place to become the woman you want to be. All right. Number 2, I want you to redefine failure. Shift the way you think about failure. And again, this is such a big one and one that I really had to work through not long ago. But what if you shift your thinking? What if failure isn't the end? What if failure is actually feedback? All right. Again, if you were with me last week, you heard me talk about, I don't know how many times I've tried a different side hustle. I've tried a couple different MLMs. I tried digital marketing. And it was easy with each of those to get frustrated and to get lost in the beating myself up because I didn't get where I wanted to with them. So easy. But when I truly looked back and reflected on each of those journeys that I went on, ladies, I learned so much from each of them. And with each of them, I can truly say I made some kind of connection, whether it be with a person, whether it be with a new strategy, whether it be with learning how to market. I learned and picked up valuable pieces of information from each one. And some of it was just beautiful friendships. And I'm all for that. So change and shift the way you think. Look at every setback as a pivot point. When you stop seeing failure as proof that you're not good enough and start seeing it as part of your journey, start seeing it as part of your growth, then it really shifts the way you think. And not only that, it makes you more willing to step outside of your comfort zone and try new things. I just recently I took a huge investment in myself to start this coaching business. And I easily could have stayed stuck in my mind about, look at all the things I've done and invested in before, and I wasn't successful with. I could have easily stuck in that. But because I've been working on myself and I knew the value of investing in myself so I could get where I want to be, so I can get to what my vision board looks like, then it shifts your thinking. It shifts the way you see failure. When you shift your thinking, you realize that you've survived 100% of your hardest days so far. And you're stronger because of them. You have survived 100% of your hardest days so far. You've made it through them, ladies. Look back on those most challenging days. And yet here you still are with me in this space, listening to this live. And I guarantee you're stronger because of whatever that setback was. So number one, release the pressure to have it all figured out. Number two, redefine your failure. Shift the way you think, reframe it. It's not failure, it's feedback. All right, that third thing, I want you to anchor your identity in truth. You're like, what does that mean? I don't want you to anchor your identity in what others think of you. That doesn't matter. I don't want you to anchor it in your productivity, because that's a really slippery slope to go down. I don't want you to anchor it in your accomplishments. But I do want you to anchor it in who you know yourself to be. And so I'm going to pause right there, and I'm going to challenge you. And if you're catching this on the replay, pause this video for a second. Who are you? Who are you? Ask yourself that question. Who am I? Not I'm a mom, not I'm a wife, not I am a teacher. Just I know that's who I am, so that's who's relatable to me right now. Who are you? And there's nothing wrong with those, right? But that's not your identity. That's not who you are. And it's so easy to make that our identity. So easy. Myself, I am a beautiful daughter of God. I am caring. I am compassionate. I love to serve and to help others. I love to help people, specifically women, but I even think my own boys. I love to help you believe in yourself. That's who I am because that's who God made me. Yes, all those other things tie it together, but that's not my identity. And that's not yours either. So don't tie your worth and your confidence to those parts of you. You are worthy. You are capable. And you are so deserving to take up space and pursue whatever it is that lights you up without needing anyone else's permission. You are worthy of all of that. And ladies, when you start living from that place, when you're willing to take up space and just be who it is that you know who you are, that's when that unshakable confidence starts to kick in. When you show up and you're like, yeah, this is who I am. This is who I'm meant to be. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful space to be in. And that's just scratching the surface. So again, anchor your identity in truth. That's what I mean when I say that. And if you didn't pause the video just now, I'm going to give you one more chance to do so. pause it here, really think and reflect on who it is that you are. What is your identity? The real lasting change is going to come when you have ongoing support, when you have accountability to keep building on this kind of work day after day. All right. It's one thing to show up to my lives every week and to take away the exercises that I provide, but it takes consistency, ladies. It takes showing up for yourself every day. And that's exactly what we do inside my mastermind. All right. That's where we go from knowing these things, knowing that this is what we need to do, to actually living them. When you surround yourself with women who truly get it, who's going to be there to cheer you on and to help you stay committed to the version of yourself that you know you're meant to be. So inside my mastermind, ladies, we work together to build emotional resilience, to turn setbacks into comebacks, to break the cycle of burnout, and to really create balance within your life. And then to build that confidence that lasts through all the highs and lows of life. Not just when you're living on that high, but even in those low moments too. So if you're feeling that nudge, if you hear that voice inside your head saying it's my turn, this is the work I've been needing, I would absolutely love to chat with you. Go ahead and message me or drop in the comments the words unshakable, and I will reach out to you. We'll talk. We'll see if we're a good fit. But more than anything, just know that you are so worthy. You are so loved. And you are so capable of going after what it is you desire. I truly thank you for spending your time with me today, ladies. Even if you're catching this on the replay, you could be anywhere else and you chose to watch this, so thank you for that. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stuck in this constant cycle of just get through it, because that's a hard place to be in, I want you to know, ladies, there's another way. You are strong, you are worthy, and you are capable of building a life that's actually aligned to your desires. You don't have to keep surviving. You can actually start thriving. And I want that for you. And I would be honored to walk alongside you, empowering you always.